In this lesson, we're going to go through the steps of how to brief any client clearly and effectively. The key to a successful brief is to fully understand what the client wants. Sounds simple, right? Well, it is when you know exactly what questions to ask. So here's a rule I follow. I always aim to have as little ambiguity and as much transparency as possible. You want to be able to identify what the client wants so that you can then price the project and agree on all the deliverables without any surprises down the line. Unless you're Don Draper in Mad Men and you can just tell the client what they want regardless of what they say they want. So, why is a brief important? I'm sure you've been there. I've had many situations in my career where the brief has been completely different to the requirements and deliverables to what was expected. This can be common when working with clients that may not have as much experience. They may have their idea, but don't know what's required to achieve it. So this is where you come in. You could waste a lot of time trying to figure out what the client wants over email, but not anymore. This is why I've aimed to solve this problem by creating the brief generator. It's a briefing tool that automates the whole process by asking key questions to your client to understand what their requirements are to begin the project. Before we dive into how to use the brief generator, let's take a quick look at what makes a great brief. You want a brief that clearly states what the outcome is. What is it they are looking to achieve? Are there examples of what they would like to create that already exist in the world? What skills do you need for this project and what will your role be? Do you need to hire in other freelancers to create this? How much time is needed to complete the project? When is your start date and the final deadline? Your day rate and how much the project will cost? Who to get in touch with and what their details are? What are the formats of the deliverables? Where will the finished films live? Great, let's dive into the brief generator. The great thing about the brief generator is you can fully customize the questions, layout, banner image, and even the theme and colors to suit your brand. The brief generator is broken into 3 simple sections. 1, the client's details, 2, the brief, and 3, the booking. In editing mode, you'll be able to amend any of this. Section 1. The client's details section is pretty self-explanatory, with their name, email address, and contact number being mandatory. You can also control if these are required or not by clicking here. Section 2, the brief. This is where the client fills in the details about the project. They can add in any links or video references to what they want to create, what skills they may need from you, and what genre the project is, how long the video is intended to be, and what deliverables they need for the final. So let's say we have a brief that is a music video shot entirely on green screen. They'd like a VFX heavy video similar to Blade Runner 2049. Wow, this is sounding pretty expensive already. We'll put in some references and what skills are needed, and we know it's a music video, so let's say it's around 3 minutes 30 seconds long. As it's going to be on TV and we'll be promoting it on social media, let's say we'll want Instagram stories and a 2 to 4K broadcast copy. And lastly, section 3, the booking. This is where the client will enter the dates for the project deadline, when they want to book you, and for how long for. The dates the client would like to book you may need to be adjusted based on your availability and if you've allocated enough time for the project. They can also enter any further details here that may be useful. Remember to enable get email notifications for new responses so that you'll be able to get an email when the client fills out the brief. Once you've received the email with the answers to the brief, you can use the Google summary features. This is where you can see the response rate, what services your clients select the most, and so much more details over time. Use this data to get an insight to what services and skills are most in demand, so you can focus on developing your craft in those areas. Lastly, it's your job to be the expert, to request what information you need and to advise if the expectations of the dates, budget, and outcome are achievable. In other words, is what they expect aligned with the time and cost that you would have quoted for. Once you have yours and your client's expectations aligned, the fun starts. You can now book in the job and begin the project. So that's how you brief your clients quickly and effectively. You can access the brief generator in the description below and start using it today with your clients.